Good evening and a very warm welcome to the class of 2031. My name is Michelle Dyer and I'm incredibly proud to be the principal here at Avonbourne Boys and Avonbourne Girls Academy. Next slide, please. So a massive welcome to the class of 2031 to the Avonbourne family. Just a little bit about us first of all. We are two secondary schools co-located in the local area. We are part of the United Learning Multi-Academy Trust, along with our sister academies, Glenmore and Winton, and the Cornerstone Academy in Poole. United Learning as a trust run over 100 schools across the country, ranging from primary, secondary, independent to all through schools. United Learning has been recognised as one of the most successful trusts in the country, and we are incredibly proud to be a part of United Learning because it brings lots of benefits to the schools in terms of our scrutiny and our support, but ultimately enhances the experiences of our students. Next slide, please. So co-location, what does this mean? We think that we're very unique in our offering here at Avonbourne Academies. Whilst we are two schools on paper, we have two Ofsted reports, two websites, we are treated as two schools independently. We are co-located on one site, and what that means is we offer the best of both worlds to our students. So at Key Stage 3, we do have that single sex teaching. We only have one department for every subject. We have one senior leadership team overseeing the school. But from Key Stage 4 onwards, students are mixed in their lessons from year 10 right through to year 13. And they mix at break and lunch times and through all our extracurricular provision. We really feel this does make us unique, and it does offer students a really unique experience at the academies. Next slide, please. So you may have heard of our recent successes, both academically in our GCSE and A-level outcomes and our recent Ofsted inspections. We are very much striving for continuous improvement in all that we do. We were very fortunate in November to be Ofsteded a full inspection for the boys' school and graded outstanding in all areas. This followed on from our ungraded inspection of the girls' school last June, where we continued to be a good school, but performance suggested that we could be judged outstanding at the next inspection, which we will expect in the next 12 to 18 months. Whilst we're incredibly proud of those achievements, we are not the finished product. We are constantly looking to improve the school, improve our academic outcomes, and improve the experience for all children. Next slide, please. So at Avonbourne, we are unapologetically ambitious for our students. We genuinely believe that children have limitless potential. We don't know what a child is capable of, but our high standards and our academic rigour are balanced with warmth and support. We really appreciate that a good education is more than just a set of academic outcomes or results. An education with character features at the heart of our academies. We want students to become the very best version of themselves and leave the academies being successful individuals in society in the future. We welcome visits to the school at any time, so if you haven't had a chance to come and see us in action yet, please do, and we look forward to welcoming you into the Avonbourne family and community. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Tom Kidman, and I'm very proud to be the Key Stage 3 Raising Standards lead here at Avonbourne Academies. Next slides, please. Thank you. So in terms of what we do here at Avonbourne, obviously there's a huge focus on learning and ensuring that every child is getting a fantastic deal inside the classroom and progressing in their studies. It's a really broad and balanced curriculum. As you can see, all the subjects that you would expect to see in a school are there. We do have throughout our 3-year Key Stage 3, computer science, drama, music, art, technology, is a wide sweep of all of those creative subjects. Now, in terms of how that's delivered in lessons, we mainly use booklets as a delivery within our subjects, and it means that all students, no matter their streams, have access to the best that has been thought and said and can progress in their studies to equally high aspirations. All students get that same powerful knowledge. They all have the same resources, those knowledge organisers, those fluency sheets that they can learn from and revise from when it comes to those exams. We ensure that explanations, examples, models and practices are all carefully chosen so that every lesson is matched to the students' current prior attainment, and that means that they can make maximum progress across the academies. And we do see students go from low starting points to very, very high outcomes, and equally we see students come in with very high outcomes, progress with a real fantastic suite of GCSEs and A levels at the end of their time with us. All of our units of work are sequenced very carefully so that knowledge builds upon prior learning. So students make connections between their knowledge within subjects and across subjects as well. We believe communication with home is really, really important when it comes to learning, and we do communicate every half term with a "What is my child learning this half term" letter, which goes on the Academy website and is of course sent home via email as well. So you can have those conversations with students and know what they are learning in lessons. Next slide, please. So I also wanted to talk briefly to you today about the grammar stream, because this might be something you've heard about and want to know a bit more about as well. So our grammar stream doesn't have an entrance exam. It's not like the grammar school system here in Bournemouth, and it's not like some of the other grammar streams as well. Our grammar stream is a very inclusive grammar stream. So we want all students who are high prior attaining at Key Stage 2 and Year 6 to make excellent academic progress as they continue through their studies here at Avonbourne. We also want to look though just beyond academics, ensure that we develop our students' culture and character and facilitate our students to very much enrich the world and become leaders in whatever discipline they want to go into in the future. Next slide, please. So what is different about the grammar stream? We are very fortunate to be partnered with the University of Southampton. We have regular trips to the university, and they come into us quite regularly as well as part of the grammar stream. They have a tailored tutor time programme. We work with the University of Oxford on this in the Oxplore Big Questions programme, which students do every other week. They spend an entire week's tutor time debating a big question, really forming their opinions and what it means to argue their opinions. And it can get quite heated sometimes in those tutor time discussions. We also expose students to a variety of guest subjects in half term as well. This half term, the grammar streams in Year 7 and 8 had a Mandarin guest subject where they learned a little bit of Mandarin, and the half term before they learnt about law and what studying law is like. We also look beyond those first couple of early years into Year 9 essay competitions and a pathways programme at Key Stage 4 and 5, which includes the Oxbridge Pathway programme, which we're part of as part of United Learning. And we have a grammar stream coordinator who's there to track for academic progress and ensure that every student is on the pathway to success. Next slide, please. So what is the same about the Avonbourne grammar stream? Well, all of our subjects are pretty much bookletized, which means that they study the exact same curriculum as they do in other streams. We really do believe that every student at Avonbourne can make excellent progress, and we don't place any limits on a student's potential. They could all leave with a suite of grade 9s. And we do that by ensuring that there is that research-informed teaching and learning framework for all students. Every student has that pastoral support, that stream movement, which I'll talk about later in a moment, and those high expectations in all classes. Next slide, please. So in terms of entry and streaming, and this is relevant for grammar stream, potential grammar stream students, but also everybody else as well. When students first arrive at Avonbourne, they come into mixed ability groups. So our transition leads work really carefully with primary schools. We find out what good combinations might be for your child, but also what might not be good combinations for their learning as well. And we in those first few weeks, we look at a few baseline assessments called mid-year assessments, NGRTs, and we also, of course, speak to our teachers as well to find out how these students are settling. So we think that first half term is really important. It softens the edges of that transition. It means that students are in a class with people that they know and will get on well with. Now, at that October half-term point, all students then go into their streams from those baseline assessment data. So we'll have the grammar stream at the top, stream 1, then stream 2, stream 3, stream 4, so forth, depending on how many students there are within the year group. The grammar stream has approximately 30 boys and 30 girls, so there's one in each of the schools, and there are opportunities to move stream throughout the end of year 7, mid-year 8, end of year 8 into year 9, and then mid-year 9 as well, because we passionately believe that students' progress can change, and actually what might be the right place for them in year 7 might not be the right place for them in year 8 or year 9 as well. So streams are always temporary, and we always encourage every student to work hard and beat their previous score. So what I think it's really important to remember, the final thing I'll leave you with today, is that it's really important to remember that grammar stream or no grammar stream, all students receive an excellent education at Avonbourne. So I'm now going to pass on to Mr. Goldsmith to talk to you about culture at Avonbourne. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kidman. As Mr. Kidman just said, my name is James Goldsmith. I'm Associate Vice Principal here at Avonbourne Academies, and I oversee behaviour and culture. I hope from Ms. Dyer and Mr. Kidman you've got a really clear view that we have high expectations of our students. We're passionate about giving them the best possible opportunity to lead the academies with the highest possible academic outcomes. But for us, school is about more than just that, which is why we like to explicitly teach behaviour here as well. We will constantly refer to something that we call our behaviour curriculum, and we refer to that as the Avonbourne way. When we speak to our students about different behaviours, these are the 7 behaviours and 7 ways of acting that we will constantly try and reinforce, because yes, as I said, we want students to leave with excellent academic outcomes, but we also want them to be well-rounded, happy, confident young people who are going to be successful not just in the workplace but also within their own personal relationships and home lives. So we teach these 7 ways of behaving explicitly on a day-to-day basis. We make sure students are aware that it's always important to try their best, that it's always important to be prepared. And that really comes down to them having high expectations of themselves, just as we have high expectations of them, because we're passionate that having high expectations is part of caring for someone. Next slide, please. As an academy, we're also values led, and by that we focus on ways that we want our students to behave. Our values are the REACH values that you can see there, and they encompass respect, equality, ambition, community, hard work and determination. Now, we constantly reinforce these values. We ask our students how they'd like to be seen. And as a member of staff who's been here for quite some time, when I'm asked about the students at our school and what they're like, these are the things that I always come back to, that Avonbourne students have integrity, they do the right thing. And we talk to them about being proud of being Avonbourne students and behaving with integrity, not just when eyes are on them, but also when they're on the sports field, when they're walking to and from the academies. So that for us is really important. We teach students that it's really important to care. We want them to achieve, and we also want them to lead. We want them to understand that when they're in groups that they're in charge of their own behaviours, and we want them to go off and lead in the community, whether it be through volunteering or, as we said before, through sporting and cultural events. But then we also understand that school is sometimes difficult, and we really do encourage them to be resilient and to work hard. So these values are constantly reinforced. Our students carry REACH cards with them around the school, and we will reward them for displaying these qualities around the academies, whether it be holding open doors, being polite to individuals, or just random acts of kindness. We show them that these are things that are really important to us, and we feel that all individuals should display. Next slide, please. When it comes to our classroom culture, we're absolutely unapologetic about insisting that we have disruption-free learning. That is because we understand that the thing that has the biggest impact on a student's progress is low level disruption within class. So we make sure that students understand that when they're in class, they're there to work hard. And yes, there will be scaffold and support to ensure that they can achieve, but we want all students to be able to learn in an environment where there is pace and rigor, and they have that opportunity to achieve their absolute maximum. And as our principal, Ms. Dyer, said, please come in and see this in action. You know, this isn't limited to a certain time. Come in and see what the school is like on a normal day, and you know, you will see classrooms where there is pace, purpose, support, you know, and students producing really high quality work. Next slide, please. And then I know this is a question and that a lot of parents have, you know, once they know, you know, which secondary school their son or daughter will be coming to, there is the stress regarding uniform and equipment. And I just want to reassure parents there that they're always, we always provide extensive and clear guidance there. We really do ask our students to look professional and take pride in their appearance. So with this, you know, when this guidance does come out, please, you know, engage with the policies, because, you know, back to school doesn't always mean back to our school. So engage with that guidance and make sure that you work with the staff here to ensure that you have the correct things for your students to come here and start in September in the right way. So I'm going to hand over to Miss Dadson now. So thank you very much, and over to you, Miss Dadson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Nikki Dadson, and I'm one of the assistant principals here at the Avonbourne Academies. And with me, I've got Coralie Cressell, who's also one of the assistant principals, and our role is overseeing transition. So we will be very much with you along this journey of supporting your son and daughter to us at the Avonbourne Academies, which we know can be a little more daunting for parents sometimes than it can be for the students. Next slide, please, Miss. So just to talk to you a little bit more, I know Mr. Kidman has been through the curriculum and a lot of the academic side of things. One of the huge parts of studying with us here at Avonbourne is our Education with Character programme. And whilst we believe that academic success is very important, exam passes are an important aspect of that, there is much more to a good education. Character is often built outside of the classroom, and we have recently had extensive investment in sporting, artistic and creative fields. We've got outstanding facilities in dance studios, sports halls, climbing walls and performance spaces that we can't wait to show you hopefully on one of our open mornings. We've got many opportunities for the students to get involved, compete, perform and lead, alongside lots of residential, cultural experiences. This year we've got our Berlin trip that's going out for the history. We've also got a French and Spanish trip that's being planned, and our recent ski trip to the Alps was also a huge success. We're very passionate about celebrating our students' success and giving them these opportunities outside of the classroom as well as inside. Next slide, please. We also have a house system here at Avonbourne, which you may have heard of through brothers, sisters or friends that already attend our academies, and you can see the names of our houses down below, all named after local areas of interest. Now, when your son or daughter joins us in September, they will be placed into one of the 5 houses, and as briefly explained by Mr. Kidman, up until October half term, they will remain with that house group. We really want to give Year 7 that opportunity to be with familiar faces from primary schools and their friends that they know as they settle in and they transition up to secondary school. So their teaching group will then change after the half term. So they will all join a house and remain with that house group for the first half term while they settle in. Now, our house system has 5 fantastic house heads that oversee each of the houses, and they run opportunities like outreach events for students to get involved in fundraisers, charity, community events, and lots of healthy, we'll say, competition for them to really battle against each other. We try and keep siblings in the same house, so again, it gives that one link and that real family feel to our community here at Avonbourne. Next slide, please. So probably a key thing that you're thinking is, what does a typical day look like here at Avonbourne? Well, school starts each day at 8:30 and we do ask students to be ready in their lineups, ready to go for the day at 8:30. We finish at 3:25 and our school gates do open from 8 o'clock, a great opportunity for students to come in, see some of their friends, catch up before the school day. We do have our canteen opening slightly earlier for those parents who do need to drop off a little bit earlier to get to work, where Breakfast Club is available for students. A little bit different to how it's run in primary school, but our canteen's open for students to socialise, to mix, and maybe get some of that last minute homework done as well. We start the day with tutor time, and then we have a 4-period day, so that's 4 lessons in a day. We've got a 20-minute break time and a 30-minute lunch. And I always say this when I go out into the primary schools, that is probably one of the biggest challenges with coming up to secondary school. Most students in primary school have an hour for lunch, and they always tell me when I go and visit them, oh, we have 30 minutes to play and 30 minutes to eat. But at secondary school, to try and fit in all that curriculum that we need to teach you, lunch and break times are much shorter. So one of the things that they certainly will be able to adapt to when they join us. We also have a programme called DEAR, which is Drop Everything and Read, where we do group reading together, as literacy and our reading curriculum are very important priorities for us here at Avonbourne. We then have a wide range of extracurricular clubs that run each day until 4:25. And again, different to primary school, those clubs are free to attend and students just need to sign up. A full list will be available to you in September, and we've got loads that go on, from dance clubs to sports clubs to a tea drinking club to chess clubs, something that will really make sure that all students can get involved. Next slide, please. So who is there to support your son or daughter? Well, pastoral care again remains at the real centre of everything we do. We want to ensure students want to come to school, they want to learn, and they enjoy coming to school as well. So we really try and make sure we create an environment in where students are happy, secure, confident, supported and valued. And you can see the list there of the variety of people who are available to support you and your son or daughter. So they'll each have a tutor, and ideally that tutor will be with them throughout their year in Year 7. We'll have a Year 17, which includes a head of year and a pastoral lead. So the pastoral lead tends to be a non-teaching member of staff who really can be that key link between home and school. We also have a house head, one of those people that looks after the houses that your son or daughter will be in. We've got a transition coordinator, which is myself and Miss Crisell, who will be looking after your son and daughter as they transition up to secondary school. We have our very own dedicated wellbeing hub, which is run by an excellent team of counsellor and ELSA trained members of staff who are able to support with any additional needs your son or daughter might have. We have a SENDCO team who again you will meet if your son or daughter is on the primary school SEND register, and we also have an EAL team, so if your son or daughter speak English as an additional language, there is also additional support for them. But alongside that, all our staff. We have hundreds of staff here at the Avonbourne Academies, all very, very excited to meet the new class of 2031, who will all be on hand to support them as they make this journey with us. Next slide, please. So what are the next steps? And I've already had lots of parents getting into contact and coming into our reception to say, okay, we've got our place, brilliant, what do we do now? So this week, please keep an eye on your email. You're going to have an email from a company called Applica, and you can see the spelling on the screen there. In that email, I'm going to show you and be able to click through some of the images to show you what it's going to look like. It's going to send you a password and login account, so you'll be able to fill in all your details, everything we need to know about your son or daughter, such as contacts, their languages. There's also a chance for them to select a preference of language that they might want to study with us, so either French or Spanish in Year 7. And there's also going to be in that document a welcome booklet with all this information we've talked about tonight plus more, and anything else you might need to know about how you can prepare to get your son or daughter ready for Year 7 in September. Now, we do have quite a strict turnaround on those. It's about 3 weeks, and we've asked for a return date of Thursday, the 28th of March. That is the last day before we break up the Easter holiday. And what's fantastic is once we've got those applicant forms through, is we can start making contact with the primary schools and start looking at making those visits to go out and meet your son or daughter in their own setting, get to know them, get to know their teacher, find out a little bit more about them, which Miss Crisell will speak about in a second. So it's really important, please, that you do meet that deadline of Thursday the 28th. So look out for your emails this week. Like I say, you'll have an email from Applica. And Miss, if you go on to the next slide for me and click through, we should be able to see the images of what they look like. So if you keep clicking, that's the first one that will come through to you. This will be sort of what the home page will look like where you sign in. So you'll be given your email address and a password. Next one, please, Miss. This is where you'll enter that information, and then it will go through step by step. Now, it won't let you continue until you finish each of those forms, okay? So you won't be able to continue with it, but it will save the position you're in. So if you aren't able to do it in one go, please do not worry. It will save where you've got to, and you'll be able to add on. One thing our data team have asked me to mention as well is it will ask you for several contacts. We can't just have one contact as a parent or carer, so it might be that you need to add a friend or a grandmother or a grandfather or someone else in the area that can be additional contact for your son or daughter. This is also what it will look like. It will ask for some legalities, so maybe your child's legal surnames and who they live with, things like that. So please make sure you've got that information on hand when you fill it in. And if you do have any problems or any queries with that, please do just drop us an email. The email address will be at the end of this presentation. Give us a call or drop into reception. We've got a lovely reception team who are on hand to help. They can even fill it in with you there and then if you're having any problems, because I know technology is not everyone's forte, which is absolutely fine. We're here to support and make sure we get all that information from you. I'm now going to pass over to Miss Christelle.
Thank you. So myself and Miss Dyson are very excited to take you through these next steps of transition, and this is where things start to get real and we start to have that more contact with you as of now. Our first opportunity is open mornings. They are running every single week. We offer different days. They are morning slots. You're able to sign up to those on our school website, and we really do encourage you to do so. I think that's a key selling point of our school that not everybody offers, so I do think it's an opportunity that would be great to have as many of you in having a look round in advance to your child starting in the summer. Primary visits start to commence May and June. So once we get that information from your applica packs, like Ms. Dadson said, we're able to start to make contact with the primary schools, and we actually go in and meet each of your individual children that are going to come to us in September. Starts to put faces to names and start to make that contact, which is one of the most enjoyable parts of our job. So we're really looking forward to coming into all the primary schools. As of June, we start to have a handover of key information between primary staff and our secondary staff here. This is where we get all the inside gossip and knowledge of what the likes and dislikes are, what makes your children tick, what things we need to be aware of, and that's where we really start to get our background information ready to make sure that your children have the best possible start here at Avonbourne, and we're able to put things in place ready to start in September. There will be parent information evenings, which are key for you guys to attend. The boys are on the 24th of June and the girls are on the 25th of June. That evening runs as a bit of an informal drop-in to start off with in our school canteen, where you can talk to key members of staff, look at our uniform, refreshments, etc. And then at 6 p.m. we'll have a formal presentation from our key members of staff in our assembly hall. So as many of you that are possible that can attend those 2 dates, that would be great to see you, and a brilliant opportunity for you to ask any questions that we haven't managed to fulfill by that point. As for our transition day, that's probably our biggest, busiest day of the whole calendar year for transition. This is where all pupils that will be in the class of 2031, they attend our school for a full school day with an exciting schedule of different activities to help them settle in, get to know the key staff at Avonbourne, our school site, and just get that first initial insight as what it will be like to be the class of 2031 here. So more details will follow nearer the time about that transition day, but definitely put in your diaries the 28th of June, ready to prepare for that. There will be some additional visits arranged for selected students, but if your son or daughter is one of those students, you will be obviously notified, and we look forward to those extra opportunities to meet those. And the most exciting day, I think, to look forward to after your summer holidays is the 4th of September. That will be the first school day for Year 7 pupils, the class of 2031. So the starting day, make sure you've got all your holidays booked and you're back ready to start on the 4th of September. Thank you.
Next slide, please. So I think just to finish off this evening and to let you get back on with whatever you're doing tonight is the key messages are: do book in, do come and see us in action. You can do that via our website. You can book onto one of our open mornings. Like Ms. Christelle said, we've got them every single week. We are, I think, fully booked this week now, as since we sent out the offers, lots of people are very keen to come and see us, but have a look on the website. We'll keep adding dates for the summer term as well. Do visit our website over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be adding to that to make sure all the information that you should need to know is on the transition pages. And do give us a follow on social media. You'll be able to see a lot more about what we're all about. The email address down there is below. Hopefully you can get in contact with us if there's any questions you should have. We've already heard from lots of you, which is fantastic, but we do monitor that regularly and aim to get back to you very quickly, because we know it's a daunting time. We know it's an exciting time as your son or daughter is about to join us at secondary, but we know there's lots of change due to come. We completely understand, and we are here to support you every single step of the way. Thank you so much for joining us. We will make sure that we download this presentation and share that on our transition pages of our website as well, so you can have a look if you need to. But in the meantime, follow us, come and see us, keep in touch, and we look forward to meeting you in May, June time when we come into the primary schools for the students, and parents when we see you on those introduction days in June before the transition day on Friday the 28th. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now.